Why do you think I came all this way? You were exactly where you were supposed to be.
There are no better writers in television than Dan Weiss and David Benioff. They ended it brilliantly, brilliantly, brilliantly. You people are in for it.
And Jon Snow has always been the hero, the one who's been the savior, but it just didn't seem right to us for this moment.
You're a good man.
This is it. This is the intro. We have nothing left to give.
Welcome back to our final coverage of Game of Thrones, the television show. A huge journey, a 8-9 year journey.
Very, very satisfying journey.
As you can see, this is the happiest we've ever felt in our lives, because you know what? This is the best ending I've ever seen on television, the best script I've ever seen displayed on camera.
As Peter Dinklage said, they ended it brilliantly.
Better than I could have imagined.
Or whatever he said, they're the best writers in Hollywood.
Awesome!
I think Jamie, by the end of episode 5, has come to terms with who he really is.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
So we just watched it. We took a bit longer to process this one because there's
about half an hour.
A lot to think about, but let's get into it. It was a long
quite
episode,
depressing.
But
You people are in for it.
there's not really as many talking points as the previous ones. We'll get into the big ones. The episode kind of started with... Daniel joked before we were watching it, like, that we're going to see Jaime's golden hand emerge from the rubble. Even though
I wasn't far off.
Even though we saw the rocks cascade all around them under the keep. But you know what? That's how we started, Daniel.
No, there was a wide area too, apparently in the Red Keep. They were standing in the only area where the rubble would crush them.
Yes. And we saw Tyrion saying he had something to do, and he went below the keep, and he started crawling his way through the crevices, and sure enough, he saw them last time.
There was a small gap, and he climbed to the top of, like, the rocks. How did he even get out of there? Because...
They cut away, they don't...
Yeah, they always... He's so lazy. I can't believe that he was weeping over Cersei's corpse.
Yeah, he pulls the rocks back, and it's great acting that Peter Dinklage does, but it's just, why the fuck is he weeping over Cersei? This is the woman that's basically ruined his life. It's given him the toughest childhood known to man. And like that's what he swore, right? Is that he would always take revenge on her and kill her in the end for what she did. She only like tried to have him murdered like countless times. She was the reason that he was exiled across the ocean.
I will hurt you for this. A day will come when you think you're safe and happy, and your joy will turn to ashes in your mouth. And you will know the debt is paid.
Miles, who would have known that Tyrion was addressing the audience in that moment in relation to season 8? Who would have known?
I felt nothing when I saw Jaime and Cersei. And Jaime was one of my favourite characters ever.
And you like the fact that Brienne as well, he opens the book of deeds.
We'll get to it. We'll get to that. There's a huge epilogue. We're going to address each of the pinnacle characters left standing. But basically, the one thing I did like about this episode was when it... Like, the intro, like in the first 15 minutes, we saw Daenerys, this awesome shot of her walking down the
really
ruins
cool
of the
imagery,
Red Keep, and she had the wings behind her, amazing. And we saw, like, for some reason, the Unsullied and the Dothraki are completely replenished in numbers. But, you know, I guess that's a topic for another day. We see Jon Snow rising the steps. We see
that was
Arya
really
Stark,
cool. Yeah. How the camera kind of followed him.
Yeah, we see Arya Stark kind of looming in the back, and then we see Tyrion come up, and she doesn't even really justify her actions for what she did to King's Landing. She kind of says... We burned the Iron Men in their iron suits. We burnt them in their stone houses, just as I promised. And now we're going to take over the rest of the world. So I guess she was planning to go to Essos again and conquer them all.
No, she said she was going to go to Winterfell.
From Winterfell to Karth,
she was going to all of them, and Jon Snow was fine with it. She is our queen. She is our queen.
I thought, like, it didn't really feel like she was the Mad Queen. It just felt like she was kind of oblivious to what she was about.
What was so weird was, she died so early in the episode, like, I think we assumed she was going to get a bit more screen time. It was...
Yeah, like, in the time we had this cool scene with her where Tyrion kind of comes up and he throws down the hedge.
I really like that.
Yeah, you
that
burned
really
my
cool.
people alive. She says to him, you freed your brother. And he's like, yes, my brother. And you burned his city. And he threw down the hand dramatically. That was great.
He finally had some character.
I noticed that D&D obviously had nothing of worth for Tyrion to say in that moment. He could have got a rousing speech saying, you know, fuck the Unsullied, fuck the Dothraki. Is this what you are, the foreign invaders? But I'm not.
I was hoping when when Daenerys was like, take him away, that he was going to say, yes, take me away to the brothel so I can die with a whore's mouth wrapped around my cock.
That
Just
would've
like
been-
in season 1,
Yeah.
you know how he recently wanted to die like that?
Yeah.
But no, he didn't get any of that.
Yeah, and then he kind of gets taken away, and we have this really long, drawn-out scene with Jon and Tyrion.
Oh, no,
and it was one of my least favourite parts
No,
of the
you saw me
episode.
look so irritated because the thing is, Jon Snow literally says to Tyrion that he can't justify the actions of Daenerys, but then he does. He justifies what she did in so many ways.
And he doesn't mention at all what the Northmen were doing to
No.
the people of King's Landing when he had to save someone from being raped by one of his own men. He was totally fine with it. I feel like this went against everything that Jon Snow's character was about. It's about doing the right
Can't
thing.
tell.
Oh, I'm serious.
He was justifying it, and Daenerys didn't even do it herself. It was Jon that had to do it. And Tyrion, actually, I think this is the best dialogue sequence we've had of him in
In a while, yeah.
several
Trying to talk
seasons.
some sentences.
Yeah, and he's
Cock of a character.
an absolute cunt. Jon Snow, the biggest cuck in Westeros.
He's your idol, Matt.
Yeah,
You're going to be like him in the future.
That's a sad thing, is they're all my favourite characters, Jon Snow and Jaime Lannister, and look at how they were treated.
Oh, I'm serious. So you
You know when Tyrion, because she said pretty much that she's going to go to Winterfell and liberate, which
Yeah.
means she's going to go and wipe out Winterfell.
No, take out Sansa, wipe out all
and
resistance.
Tyrion like alludes to that. And what does Jon Snow say? He says something about how they'll like come around.
My sisters, it's her, she's their queen too, or something.
What are you doing? Look
My
at me,
name-
man to man. What do you think of that?
My name is Jon Snow, and I wish the entire world to burn if it makes my girlfriend happy.
My name is Jon Snow, Your Grace. And if it pleases the small council, I'd like it if you wiped out my whole family. And
My sisters will come around, or they'll burn in hell. 7 hells.
jumping the gun now.
I couldn't believe it. Like, just it didn't feel like
That feels
Jon
like
Snow.
I felt like
It didn't
that was
feel like
Jake
it.
Snow.
Yeah, it was. It was.
That was Jake Snow.
Distant cousin of Jake Skywalker.
That was just like the funny thing is we wanted more Jon Snow in episode 5.
Yeah, because it felt like he's been almost omitted from the entire
he's been
season.
benched. He's been benched, but then this episode you're like, oh, I don't want this anymore.
Now I
'cause-
see why it wasn't in the other episodes. Look at what he's become. That's not a man. That's a wretched husk of a man. I haven't seen a man that pathetic since I saw Daniel in his last relationship. There's
Mate,
nothing
this isn't
left
the
to live for.
podcast, alright? It's becoming that.
It's becoming.
But yeah, you know how we see.
emotions are high. This is emotionally
At
charged.
least we're becoming happier now. Look at the contrast between the beginning. But you know, the faces of our heroes, Jon, Tyrion, they're also like gaunt and just defeated. Like
Yeah.
There are no better writers in television than Dan Weiss and David Benioff.
actions.
Here's my question to the
Makes no-
audience.
he was
Why
so
the hell did
horrified.
he come back? Why did Jon Snow get resurrected?
Yeah, I said that to you. Why was he?
We finished
he
the
was
entire
resurrected.
series and we still don't know why.
He was resurrected so he could help Daenerys get to King's Landing,
so he could
bring about the greatest massacre in the history of
A
Westeros.
bona fide genocide. I don't know, we'll get away from that scene because it just depresses me.
It is. All right, what do we?
Let's
you
talk
were very
about
depressed.
Grey Worm. Let's talk about Grey Worm
Okay.
slaughtering Lannister soldiers and just being an all-around
You know,
cocksucker.
I just wanted Jon Snow to kill him, but that never happened.
Yeah, look, that's what
How
I wanted
did
in the
Jon Snow
last
not
episode.
kill Grey Worm? Grey Worm went sailing off to the land of Narth, where you told me that he can't even go because there's poisonous butterflies.
There's poisonous butterflies. That's why Narth is just like this peaceful place where there's no warriors, because it's the native people
Yeah.
of Narth, because that's where Missandei is from, I'm pretty sure. He could never go there, he could never live there with her, because he'd literally die. The only reason they get people from there is they make small incursions on Narth because they're peaceful,
Yeah.
and they take them as slaves because they have no resistance. But you can't live on Narth. So is he just planning to go and pick up a slave of his own, a new Missandei, and rape her till the end of his days? God, I wouldn't be surprised,
Yeah.
judging by the villainous turn he's taken.
What did you think about the prophecy not coming to fruition in the final confrontation
was
between Dany
possibly
and Jon?
one of the biggest slaps in the face. Actually, this is my opinion. I think D&D did it deliberately. I think they actually wanted to slap George R. R. Martin in the face. Because the prophecy is, like we've all seen it in season 2, this is the only prophecy that really came through on the show. It's in the House of the Undying in the books and the show when she walks through the Red Keep and the roof has caved in and the snow covered the Iron Throne, but we see it's ash.
Yeah.
It's actually it. And then she kind of reaches out, but she can never touch the Iron Throne. And we kind of thought that was going to happen. Like, the dramatic music was playing, and we're just like, she's going to get there.
But then
and
the
Jon
music
Snow's-
the music seemed to change tone as she touched it. It was very
'cause
strange.
It was one of these to George R. R. Martin. Thanks for the money, George. Thanks for the lore. We're going to go to Star Wars and fuck up Revan now.
Oh, what'd you say?
That was a slap.
What'd you say you're gonna do if they touch Star Wars? If they touch Revan?
I'm going to fuck If I was George R. Martin and they came to me with their ideas for this adaptation, I would have said simply, just like in Skyrim, you never should have come here.
Oh, man.
And kick him right out the door.
Dude, that's so crazy.
The way they butchered the prophecy
man.
made me so unhappy.
They butchered pretty much every prophecy.
Yeah, all of them. I
Just didn't seem right to us for this moment.
say all of them. I can't think
the
of a
cold
single
hands
one.
around the neck for Cersei, this
Yeah.
prophecy, Azor Ahai.
Azor Ahai, the
Just didn't seem right to us for this moment.
promised, all of it.
But none of it means anything, apparently.
It was all bullshit.
Doesn't matter how many hours I pour over this.
I really thought Jon Snow was going to like say something to her and then she would turn right before she touched the prophecy. But the scene plays out the same regardless of whether she touches it or not. So it just felt deliberate, like a big fuck you to the audience.
It should have been a really emotional moment, but it just didn't feel that way.
So we have this. That's what Daniel said before. Daenerys was barely in the episode.
It's bizarre.
And she didn't really seem to have any kind of I don't know, like what'd you say?
Like she barely had any dialogue in that scene, and it's like no, she didn't commit any more crazy acts. It's like it felt like her story wasn't done. Like it felt like she'd just gotten to the point of being evil, and then she was quickly killed. That's what felt.
Actually,
there should have been 10 episodes.
The thing I'll backtrack to is that actually that scene of Tyrion and Jon when he was mentioning she always burnt people, but they were always the enemy, so it's easy to justify the killings. I like how that all ties together. That feels like George R. R. Martin. Like, I think this is the logical end of her as she becomes the Mad Queen.
That's the justification to all the people online who are saying that Dany should never have turned. Like, there's been indications all the way through.
Oh, it's been littered throughout the literature.
Like, I'm not annoyed at that, but it definitely should have been built up more. Like,
it could have been one of the greatest
imagine
twists
if
in
there was
history.
like 3 more episodes left after this. How much they could have done with evil Dany.
Imagine if there were 14 episodes left. This end of this season could have been the end of like Cersei. The next season could have been the end of the Long Night and Daenerys. 5 episodes each. But you know what? We don't live in that. We live in the darkest timeline here.
Imagine if they defeated. Jon had to put down the love of his life, right?
Which is what he did.
And then he had to put himself together. He had to he took down a monster from within, the girl he loved, and he had to fight like another monster.
He had to take down another monster, Ramsay Bolton.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's always fought for the innocent. Similar to Tyrion,
monster killer.
What are they? Bastards, peasants, and broken things. Whatever the quote is.
What do you think?
I have a tender spot in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things.
The death of Daenerys.
Oh, yeah.
I felt strangely empty.
I felt empty too.
I felt like it didn't resonate with me. And I was saying while we watched it, I said I've been waiting the entire time I've watched the show and the books to see this scene with her in the throne room. And it was so unsatisfying. Even
I know it was cool seeing the throne get burnt by Drogon.
I liked Kit Harington's acting. That was really good. And
Serious?
he was just saying, you know, what about all the other people in the world? Aren't they good? Don't they get a say too? And she's like, they're not the ones who
You see his mad gleaming eyes?
Yeah, that was good. And then he kind
Looks a bit like your ex-girlfriend's.
Hey!
I got you back, cocksucker. Yeah.
Probably see it a few times more in my life. But yeah, then he stabs
History
her
will repeat itself.
as he's making out with her, and it was a kind of sad scene. Like, I liked how she died, but then Drogon kind of shows up, and he takes no vengeance on the
bizarre
assassin.
CGI scene, and she flies off with Daenerys' corpse. And for some reason, as I saw someone on Reddit say, Jon confesses to what he did, even though he could have got away with it because Daenerys would have just seemed to have disappeared. It's quite bizarre.
I think it's pretty obvious Jon did kill her.
It probably is. But coming in there seeing him
when I saw, like, I like how Drogon burned the Iron Throne. That was kind of the breaking the wheel moment. But why did Drogon know that? Like, what was Drogon's... He was just like, if she can't have it, no one can.
Bran was clearly walking into Drogon.
Oh, yeah, so we never got any of that. He never flew, I guess. He flew a little pigeon.
Everything you did brought you to where you are now.
I like the Iron Throne burning it. It symbolises kind of the end of the journey, right? Because it was always the Game of Thrones. Like, it was always about the Iron Throne, at least in the south. The greater threat was always to the north. I will always stand by that.
Oh, I'm serious.
But when the throne kind of melted, it kind of signified a change. Like, everything in the world has changed now, and it can never go back to what it was before. I think that's going to be in the books. I think that's a big George R. R. Martin moment, the burning of Aegon's like swords, the thousands of swords that he put in his conquest. And then Drogon picks her up and just kind of flies off. I assume they go to Valyria.
You were saying it was bizarre.
It was weird. What the hell is he doing? Is he going to go throw her in a volcano in old Valyria and try and resurrect her or something?
Yeah, she's coming back with the Night King. They're going to team up in a sequel series.
He's obviously going to Valyria or like maybe the Shadowlands. He's going somewhere. Maybe a show. He's going some place of significance. I assume it's Valyria, but that was the end of
Don't
Danny,
worry,
and it was-
we're seeing it in a sequel series. She's coming back as the Night King.
I don't think there
you
will be
worry.
a sequel series, but if there is,
Yeah,
it's going to
I
be Are You the Pirate? Are You
Right,
the
let's
Sword
talk about these
Pirate?
resolutions
So
now.
what happened after she died? So basically, we just it randomly cuts, and it's kind of like the last half hour is just tying up loose ends.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, the
it's-
resolutions.
So it's Jon Snow's immediately in captivity.
Yeah, and he's
straight
not
away.
even there when they're electing a new king. And what do you think of our new king, boy?
Yeah, so we have this scene where Tyrion comes. He's on trial, but all of a sudden, like the cool thing is we have all the remaining lords
Yeah.
of the Seven Kingdoms. We have the River, not Riverrun. We have the Tullys, the Starks,
Yeah.
the Greyjoys, the Martells. Robin Arryn comes back with the Arryns. And some other cocksuckers around here and there. The Baratheons, Gendry's there looking like a real piece of
He
shit.
doesn't contribute much, does he? He's just thinking
And
about
they're
Arya.
all seated around for the trial of Tyrion, where the Unsullied have taken a direct control of the city and have Tyrion and Jon in captivity for some reason, and they're refusing to budge, even though the 7 remaining kingdoms are there saying you can't keep these people, they're our people. And Grey Worm's just the ultimate cocksucker, just like his mad queen. No redeeming qualities, but Tyrion is in chains and he gets to elect the next king. I like that scene where Edmure kind of says, "Well, I love arts and
Preston his
crafts.
claim.
I've won a few battles." Yeah, and he just
And
gets
then he gets,
strong-armed
he
by
gets treated
Sansa.
with absolute contempt by the rest of the lords and ladies. Even Samwell Tarly looks like he's giving them a bit of
Yeah, then
scorn.
Samuel,
Oh, man.
he ignites this idea of democracy where they elect leaders and everyone scoffs and laughs at him, and then Tyrion steals the concept.
Yeah, and he says, Bran should be the leader.
No, he's like, power isn't important, intelligence
Oh,
isn't important, it's our stories.
Oh.
And everyone looks around at Bran, who, our emotionless, crippled guy.
No, I kept saying it to you, he looks like an absolute vegetable. He's
in a catatonic state.
Yeah, he is. He's the man you want on a throne.
There are no better writers in television than Dan Weiss and David Benioff.
And then he says, remember that line he says where no, you know what Bran pretty much says.
They're like,
Why do you think I came all this way?
That's apparently why he did everything to get on the throne.
yeah, the entire sequence of events for the entire thing was Bran to assert control for himself.
So the greatest massacre in history.
He could have prevented it.
The three-eyed Raven helped orchestrate this.
It would have been cool if we saw his eyes flutter, or we saw some kind of villainous turn, where he smirks at the screen at the end or something.
I thought that's
We got
what it was in.
nothing.
His eyes seemed to go wider for a
He was
second.
looking
but
for
then-
Drogon
Oh,
or
yeah.
something, but they could have done something with him. Bran, here's the characters you wasted on one hand. Jon Snow, Jaime Lannister, Bran Stark, Arya Stark. Here's another one they really fucked up this
You say
season.
Jaime?
Yeah, I said Jaime, of course. Tyrion, of course. Oh, what have you done?
Right, big boy?
Yes, we have Bran elected king of the Six Kingdoms.
No, it's Bran, and he's got a very disparaging name, Bran the Broken.
Oh, yeah.
Bran the mentally handicapped. That would be better. Have a certain ring to it.
Bran the,
Bran,
No, what is it? It's Bran,
Like
it's
Jon
Bran the
Snow, what?
erectile dysfunction.
which Sansa quickly pointed out, he can't propagate any further sons or daughters.
You think he can speak for himself, but she had to point it out?
I got a Jon Snow quote for you. You might like this one. My lords and ladies, there's nothing better than a vegetable on the throne.
Oh, man. Why the hell wasn't Jon Snow present? He's the true heir to the Iron Throne.
Do you know what I thought? Do you know what I thought was ridiculous? Even though he killed Daenerys, the queen at the time,
He did the right thing.
if he pressed his claim and revealed that he was the true heir, that should supersede all of the events that
Yes.
actually occurred, don't you think? Because the stakes, he is the true heir.
You know what he
and he
said
was
when he
killing
can-
someone who wasn't.
You know what he said off screen?
What?
He said, I don't want it. I killed the queen. I'm a regicide. I performed regicide.
Are you all happy with the way with the outcome of the show? Personally, are you
I'm a murderer, and I deserve to serve out my days on the wall. And then Tyrion went, huh?
How do you feel about Jon Snow not being present for the crowning of
I
the
think it's
king?
absolutely ridiculous, considering the true heir isn't even acknowledged for his title, and then he isn't even part of the process of
He's
electing.
not acknowledged for anything he did throughout the series.
Pretty much the reveal that he was a Targaryen, I think it amounted to zilch. Amounted to absolutely nothing. in
What
the
about
story.
him liberating the North from Ramsay Bolton?
He should have died in that
Yeah.
battle. Why was he brought back? And who? The Lord of Light? Did the Lord of Light just want Daenerys to massacre hundreds of thousands?
But he's just
Is that what
he's
the Lord of-
reveling in the death.
I mean, bloody hell! Is that what the Lord of Light is?
I couldn't believe it. Like, it felt like Jon Snow was taken out of his own story.
Speaking of Jon Snow, what do you think of how his story truly ends? Do you like it,
was
boy?
one of the most unsatisfying endings I've ever seen. Like,
It's like Jamie. 360 on that arc, baby.
Jamie, by the end of episode 5, has come to terms with who he really is.
You're a good man.
You gotta take it back to the beginning.
Yeah, he ended exactly where it began. What was the point of him? Why did we go on this huge journey across Westeros to the far north against the Long Night? What was the point of Jon Snow? Daniel was right. My name is Jon Snow and I have no purpose. Fucking wanker. Biggest cuck in the Seven Kingdoms. I hate how Arya, Bran, and Sansa just let Jon Snow, the true hero, liberated everyone, stopped the Long Night.
The quote with Bran where he says,
You were exactly where you were supposed to be.
right where you need to be, John. In relation to him going back to the
being
war.
exiled for the rest of his days.
That was so depressing, seeing him going back to the war. Kit Harington, no wonder he was depressed.
I wonder he was crying at the final script reading. I would be too. I'd be tearing it up.
Like, it's so... They did this for both Jamie and John. They, like, reneged on the arc, on the overall meaning of it. Yeah. Like, it makes no sense. These men, right here.
This guy right here. Fuck you, everything you've done to me.
Screw you.
Like, and then we have the classic Arya. What's west of Westeros, Dan? I'll tell you what's west. It's fucking Essos. The other side of Essos, you dumb bitch. The Hound was right. God, she's dumb as Brienne. Fucking.
Do you like Brienne?
So her entire revenge arc, her avenging her family and killing the queen, amounted to nothing essentially. Her faceless man training didn't even really occur this season, and she's just a pirate in the end. She's just a swashbuckler.
Yeah,
what the fuck? What kind of characters are these?
Does she like it gentle or rough? A finger in the bum.
I can't believe it.
You know, you said it might as well have been Euron on that ship.
Yeah, it might as well have been Euron. I'm off to fuck another queen.
A finger in the bum.
Might as well have been.
And then you should have seen, like, he says that, and then Arya's like hiding behind a pillar, smirking, going, "Oh, I know who's next on my list."
No, you hear the dragon mating call from the distance, a resurrected Daenerys.
No human queen, but a dragon queen.
Do you think any character got a satisfying conclusion?
We've
in
talked
this
about,
episode.
No.
Sandor Clegane, I think, is the only
Sansa. I like the fact that Sansa was like the queen.
Well, she played the game of
but also, but I hate that too because she turned.
Because I'm gonna fuck the queen.
Yeah, she turned on Jon. What? No, if they really wanted to, they could have defended Jon's honor. And why didn't Jon press his claim? He didn't tell anyone about his true lineage. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know really what to say because it feels like every single character is unrecognizable from who they were before, or in some cases exactly the same as they were before.
No one changes.
I can't believe that Jaime fucked over everyone. Like, Brienne had the gall to write down his good deeds. Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning, got like 4 pages because he was a great Kingsguard, sorry. He was one of the greatest swordsmen of all time. And Jaime Lannister had like 2 lines written to him. Like, he shouldn't have even had that, the prick.
Jaime Lannister.
And then Brienne fills out the whole book of Jaime Lannister's deeds.
She might as well have called the book Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, the heroic deeds of Jaime Lannister and others.
Nothing else matters. Only us.
You're a good man.
That's what Samuel Tarly should have helped that master write. Not A Song of Ice and Fire, a song of Jaime's deeds. A song of Jaime's great deeds.
That's what Brienne
Page 1, raping his sister.
That's what Brienne should have written in the book. She should have said, Jaime Lannister, I never cared about the innocent, in quotation.
Yeah.
That's all it should have. There was no point to it. All he did was terrible things.
I never gave a fuck about anyone's in King's
All
Landing.
I cared about was
It's outrageous.
And then, like, we had the big reveal, like, the mighty council, like, who was left, pretty much. Who was it? It was Davos,
Sir
Bronn,
the Blackwater. Sorry, I'm
the Backwater.
Like, he's in charge of Highgarden now.
And the Master of Coin, in charge of all the loads.
Yeah, I know. You and me were both depressed the camera's like fading out from the small council meeting. You just hear them. It's the worst dialogue you can imagine, and that's the last scene we have of these characters of Tyrion going like, "Oh yeah, like I wouldn't mind a brothel in this area." Like, good God, this is who Tyrion is now.
Yeah, it's just we had this pathetic.
The joy has turned to ashes in our mouths.
And how about this? I predicted this for so many years that Sam was going to write A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh man,
he didn't even write the book. Some cocksucker Maester did.
It was a good. It came true. Your prediction.
Yeah, and Tyrion wasn't even mentioned in the book.
Yeah,
the histories of the War of the Five Kings against the
hell?
Knight.
George's favorite character.
Yeah, it's another.
He was instrumental. Even if he made bad decisions with Daenerys, that should have been like the fact he was Hand of the King. What Hand of the King does not get recognized? I mean, what Meister misrepresents history because he doesn't like someone? Is this way? It's like academic misconduct.
It's like Battlefield 5.
I'd rather be on the right side of history. Oh man. So basically, this episode ruined your life. This season ruined your life, right?
This episode did ruin my life. My entire experience in Game of Thrones. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. I have a question to you. Are we going to make it to the next Ascension Media video, or is this the end for us? We're going to keep going, but D&D certainly should not.
Don't support them. Don't let them have a Star Wars trilogy. Actually, Callum said he wants them to give Revan their own special little twist.
No, I think if they touch the Old Republic, if they touch Star Wars, now's the time that... This is the fan base...
Get your voices out there.
Yeah, the fan base of Game of Thrones is in open revolt, as everyone can see, and now's our time to stop Disney getting D&D behind a trilogy of their own. We stopped Ryan Johnson. It's time to stop... Ryan Johnson was Cersei. Daenerys is D&D. It's time to stop another time.
It's truly unprecedented, the uproar against this show.
Oh, it's almost ridiculous.
It isn't.
It's so widespread.
I'd say like 3 out of 4 comments I read on any YouTube video for Game of Thrones is highly negative.
Yeah.
I'd never see that. No, like usually even in really bad shows, I found a lot of positive comments. Like when Doctor Who was going to shit, I saw everyone still defending it. So like, I've never seen it like this.
As I've said before, I don't defend mediocrity anymore.
The like to dislike ratio and like the behind the scenes is like
it's very indicative
enough
of where the audience's mentality is at. I guess let's talk about the final scene of the show, which was the 3 Starks. We've got a perspective from each of them where their stories.
Arya being a pirate, Jon Snow going back to the wall,
being exiled, going beyond the wall. At least we got the ghost.
No one's gonna remember Jon. He's gonna be forgotten.
It was a hell of a journey, Game of Thrones, and it ended with, I guess, 3 of the most pivotal characters: Arya the pirate, Sansa the Queen of the North, like taking out Jon Snow's true claim, and Jon Snow going beyond the wall to be what I assume is King Beyond the Wall. It felt very unsatisfying, and I guess
anything but bittersweet, bitter, foul, and just grotesque feeling inside me.
I just want to say I think this is the worst ending I have ever seen in any medium in my entire life.
It's quite a poor one.
And I don't know, I guess the future is going to be very interesting with these prequel shows. We're planning to make a dedicated Game of Thrones podcast in the near future, so
and hopefully
be sure to tune in because we're going to be talking about these guys quite a bit.
Well, hopefully we get an Arya spin-off series where she's gallivanting around the world of Westeros. Hopefully they call it West of Westeros.
Yeah.
West of Westeros, coming to HBO this fall.
I just want to... How did you feel about the episode? Let us know in the comments below. It's been a hell of a journey, Game of Thrones, and my God, did it go out with a whimper.
Shall we? To
you, the viewers. Maniac. He stopped. You can't give up now, yeah.